Well, if we just round up what's been happening, by the way, I have to announce that Nadine Dorries' book will be available on the 9th of November, and she's going to expose everything. It's like Julie Andrews in SOB, isn't it? I must say, I am sort of looking forward to Nadine Dorries' latest addition to her oeuvre because, well, first of all, I gather the majority of it will simply be other people's words that she's transcribed. So she's a sort of scribe or an amanuensis rather than an author here, which I suppose must be a blessing. But I think the idea that there are dark arts at work and have been for a long time, I think will be comforting to know that the House of Cards is not simply a thing of fantasy. But what worries me is this negative slip in our political life, and I use the word political in the broadest sense, polis as in city, in our life as urbane, civilized individuals. And I think a lot of this was confirmed, if not started, by Brexit, because Brexit was about what we didn't want to do, not about what we wanted. Brexit was about leaving, not about going anywhere. And I think that set in motion a lot of intemperate language, a lot of intemperate activity. Not least, of course, the language not only today of Gillian Keegan, but also of Lee Anderson, both of them equipped with intemperate, inappropriate, sort of salty language. And, you know, I don't mind a bit of salty invective if it's funny. If it's funny. But this isn't funny. This is about a lack of skill with words. And surely we elect MPs and we appoint ministers because they have a skill with words. Instead, what we appear to have appointed are people who can only parrot slogans that have been written for them and who have otherwise a fairly filthy and limited vocabulary. It's like dealing with a menagerie or an aviary, and it's sort of inappropriate in the mother of all parliaments that we should have people who cannot string together a sentence in a coherent way without profanity and muscular irregularity. I despair slightly. Anyway, I take heart from the fact that Nadine Dorries is going to expose everything and is going to flash the news about how Boris was brought down. How did Boris end up being brought so low? And this isn't about Sofagate. This is about his political defenestration. And Nadine Dorries weeping for her beloved Boris. A little bit of alliteration there. And I would imagine that would be significantly more entertaining than listening to Gillian Keegan keening over why she isn't appreciated more. Well, she is appreciated in some circles. Maybe she could call bingo or something. Maybe she could become a barker in some sort of village fairground. Maybe she could sell things in Brewer Street. I don't know. I don't know what her career prospects are, but I trust they're not going to be in the Conservative Party or in government after the next election. That's all I hope. And she might set up a business with Lee Anderson. She could set up a sort of a dictionary business, the lexicon of inappropriate words. I'm sure she'd be able to fill up most of it.